Welcome to our journey in Myles. I'm Sue.
And I'm Mark, the eye candy.
Thanks for showing up, eye candy. And this is Myles, our motorhome. So in this video, it's actually the fifth of a series that we're doing with Adventure Caravan Guided RV Tour. And this is the historical East Coast America. And like I said, it's our fifth video. If you haven't seen it all, any of the other ones before already, make sure you check those out. With this video, we will be in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we drive into Philadelphia too. So, I mean, we started out with the American Treasure Tour Museum.
That was fascinating and very different.
that was very different, yeah. But then we ended up in Philadelphia, we did. And where we ended up walking is claimed to be the most historic square mile in America. I believe it. Liberty Bell, Independence Hall.
And what is happening is we're actually getting educated, and our entire history that we learned when we were in high school is being put together, and it's fascinating. Coming
together. So we also, in this video, we were immersed in the Amish experience. That was really cool too. So anyways, let's get at it. We're going to Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Good morning. It is day 14. It's Saturday. It's September 28th, and it's a travel day. First of all, I just want to say we had a fantastic time at the play last night, The Lion King. Couldn't show any video, but we, as you saw, we went in, we came out. The costume, the dancing, the music, fantastic. And but today is a travel day, and we do have a delay. We're supposed to be out of here at 11, and we're heading over to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But we just got notification, like our all caravans, the Wagon Master goes ahead of everybody, just if there's delays or detours or whatever. And they got back to us. They can't get out of here.
They were literally 1/3 of the mile down the road. And I'm here to tell you, every single rig in our caravan, because we're in essentially a glorified parking lot, which is an awesome place to be when you're doing this visit, we're all going to be leaving literally almost the same time. And we're so glad that the Wagon Master went ahead because he's 1/3 of a mile only from here, but he's pulled over into a bus lane. And the police said, you might as well just start camping here because you're here until 1 or 2 p.m.
So this is what's going on, what Mark's talking about. There's actually, it's Saturday, there's a lot happening in New York, and there's a marathon going on. So they have a lot of the streets blocked up. And that's why our wagon masters are stuck somewhere. The park was not aware of that when they called, and they said nobody told us. We had no idea that they were going to blockade everything, so we can't get on the interstate.
So let me explain how that works now. So the Wagon Master communicates back with the Tailgunners that are the last people to leave here, and they immediately fanned out, both of them. And they
knocking on doors, letting us know what's going on.
Whoa, did you see the text? Did you see the email? And a really efficient setup.
Yeah, so we're going to be here. They said the marathon's going on until about 1 o'clock, so we may be here until 1 o'clock instead of moving out by 11. I guess the park was going to try to find some alternative route that we can get out of here. But, if we can't get out, the people that are supposed to be coming in today, they can't get in. So we're just kind of taking a walk, wasting time for 2 hours, and wait till we get the word from our wagon master or somebody that it's good to go. And the key word, like anything in life, is flexibility. All right, here we go. And we were one of the last ones to leave. We had a little issue with the Honda, but all is well. Everyone actually left out the back way, which normally is not the way to go. But they found a route that would get us on the interstate and avoid the marathon, well, at least what was left over of it. And it's about 1:30 in the afternoon right now. You can see the run has passed through this area already, and people in cars are all heading out. Adventure 1, this is Adventure 7. We're entering the park.
Copy 7, we got a little bit of a backup. If you could hold on just a second. Hold your position behind number 16.
Okay, there, just straight ahead. Thank you.
Good morning. It is day 15. It's Sunday, September 29th, and we're in Lancaster, Pennsylvania right now.
Lancaster.
We're in Lancaster. We've been corrected by our Pennsylvania friend, Tim. So anyways, this is a motor coach day. We are going to be bussed around, and our first stop should be really interesting.
Well, okay, so I looked at online because I didn't know what it was. I had never heard of it.
Yeah.
And it's called the American Treasure Tour Museum. Now, picture a museum that's big enough that you sit on a tram and it drives you for like 45 minutes to an hour through all different areas of the museum.
It's an eclectic collection of Americana. That should be interesting and it should be fun. In that museum, they do have and I got a bee by me.
They have kind of a famous place to eat.
Yeah, Arnold's. We're going to be eating at Arnold's there. And then we're going to be motor coached over to Valley Forge. And we'll pick up a guide and we'll tour around there in the afternoon. So
right, and the Valley Forge is the battlefields.
The Revolutionary War, yeah.
It's going to be a new experience for us, like it always is. Turn slowly, honey. You can show in the background some of the other rigs in our area. This was a little tight getting in here, but that's the beauty of traveling with a caravan, is that the minute people saw it was a tight spot for me, I must have had 3 or 4 people on here, one on each corner, you know.
We're helping each other.
I, of course, listened to Sue the most, but second most was Tim.
Yeah,
so
Tim
thank
was
you,
a
Tim.
big help. Okay. All right, here we go, motor coaching today. New adventure, let's do it.
Yeah, you know, that's why it's called what?
Adventure Caravan.
This is one man's collection over the span of about 60 years. You'll see about 75% of the collection.
We had some time to kill before the guided tram tour, so we wandered around the music room for a while.
Just wanted to caution you guys again. Remember, diorama, not diarrhea. So when we walked into this part of the museum, it was called a music area, and they talked about this building being full of one person's collection of all sorts of different things about Americana. And can you imagine being wealthy enough and driven enough to save and buy and categorize all of this kind of stuff? Unbelievable. So this is one of my favorite displays here because it reminds me of Sue.
And our tour is now ready in the toy box, where we hopped on the tram with a recorded audio tour.
Codes on the backs of most of the seats. If they aren't on the backs of the seats, they are scattered all throughout the museum. There's no
We honor that request, as he wants the items collected to be the stars of the show. His passion has brought together one of the world's largest collections of pop culture from the 1870s to present day. The collection is constantly evolving. Delightful automatons. In the late 1890s, electricity was coming to our big cities. At the same time, mass production. We ask, why not? This shoe is actually from a now defunct cable channel called
Once we're done with our tram ride, there's a walking tour. You can walk around and take a look at more things. This is the antique car area, but as you can tell, it's so much more. Come on, Mark. They just announced. Get going.
I was doing some research to try to figure out who this guy is. Yeah, you could find anything on the internet. You could probably find out what my wife's name is on the internet.
And now we're off to Arnold's restaurant for our lunch. Turns out that Arnold's is a whole lot more than just a restaurant.
This entertainment venue is unbelievable. This place is giant and it has everything. You got a bar, you got a bowling alley. So the beauty of this place is that it's all indoors.
And there are plenty of things to do here. But let's go eat. We had our own room with a buffet-style lunch.
It's better than yours.
You think?
Well, it's all about presentation.
Of course. We've got some of our brave caravanners getting ready to go out there and mingle with the youngsters.
Activate.
And now we're back on the bus heading over to Valley Forge.
Now you got to ask yourself, was I filmed walking backwards? Or was I walking forward and we played it backwards? You never know.
Right, we're in the visitor center. We're going to actually start off with a short video before we get our guided tour.
Is there any room here? You think you could get close enough? Look at this. I'm thinking Tim needs glasses, I think.
No, I have room to stretch my legs out here. That's the difference.
Oh, and it has nothing to do with deodorant or anything.
No, it's all legs.
All right, let's go. I'll go sit by Sue.
Then we're back on the bus with our guide. We made several stops along the way. Valley Forge is the location of the 1777 through 78 winter encampment of the Continental Army, led by General George Washington during the American Revolutionary War. Right, here's our pizza oven. Actually, it is their oven. Did a lot of their baking while they were camped out here. In late 1777, while the British occupied the American capital, which was Philadelphia at the time, Washington decided to have his troops winter at Valley Forge.
Now, I would have went in there, but it would have taken a half an hour. And that's just to get in.
The huts are not original, but Washington's headquarters is actually the original Washington's headquarters. So it was owned by a guy named Potts.
So I see you've discovered where they came up with the idea. Look at that guy's face. They came up with the idea to put Washington on the dollar bill. That's what the guy's thinking about right there. Pretty sure that's what.
Oh my God!
What they're showing there.
That's right. Walk away. Here is Washington's headquarters, and this is the original building from what we were being told. We're going to get a tour inside it, and they say if you're touching the handrail as you go up, that's the same handrail that Washington and all the other important people touched while they were there.
George Washington slept here. And Martha, he breathed the air. He had scones there.
One of the problems they had with the British was they were trying to force people to house the British troops. Washington didn't want to do that, so he rented this house from the owner for the time they were there planning and training. Here, under Washington's leadership, the troops of diverse colonial militias and allies emerged as a cohesive and disciplined fighting force. In 1996, this arch was dedicated to honor the brave people who endured the winter encampment at Valley Forge. So here we are, our last stop. We're at the Washington Memorial Chapel. This current chapel and bell tower were built and completed in 1928. The original Washington Memorial Chapel was built in 1903, and it serves two purposes. First, as a tribute to George Washington and his service to our country, and second, to serve as a wayside chapel for visitors of Valley Forge National Historical Park. When we arrived, this docent gave us a plethora of information on the chapel, the tower, and their history.
So everything is symbolic to the 13 colonies, stripes on the flag.
Good morning. It's day 16 and it is Monday, September 30th. Oops, I forgot to lock it. So we're doing a motor coach again today. We're heading into Philadelphia. So this morning we're going to pick up a guide and we're going to get to Independence Hall, Liberty Bell, a lot of history. If you are a history buff, a U.S. history buff, my gosh, this tour is for you. We are not only learning, but we're there. We're experiencing and touching, and it's pretty cool.
You know what it's really doing? It's unscrambling for me the mess that is in this noggin here when I was in high school and grade school, and you really didn't want to learn history properly, and now it's being all brought together. So it is kind of fascinating.
Oh, it really is. Then this afternoon we're going to head over to Philadelphia's U.S. Mint.
Okay.
And we're going to see and check out how money is made and
I'm hoping there that they have the little round Girl Scout mints. They're really good, you know, when you go through the... You go halfway through and...
Not quite.
It's different?
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyways, we're heading over to our motor coach. You can see back there, it's there waiting for us. And we're riding into Philadelphia. So we picked up our guide again and walked over to the United States Mint. But... All right, we just finished up at the Mint. We couldn't do any photographs or videos in there.
Right, no chocolate cookies, no junior mints, none of that. And we got to see the whole assembly line for all the different coins for the U.S. Circulation system, made by all German equipment, I might add, Schuler presses.
Oh, it was interesting, the process. What I found interesting too in this day of credit card, they make more pennies than any other coin. They're still making pennies.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. All right, onward. We continued with our walking tour of the Independence Mall, which is also known as America's most historic square mile. It's the 3-block section that lies north of Independence Hall and south of the National Constitution Center. There's a lot of history here. This was a day with a lot of walking and stopping often. And the first was Christ Church Cemetery, where Ben Franklin is buried. Right, since Philadelphia was the first capital of the U.S., here is the house where Washington and Adams lived, or what's left of it. The Washington House was demolished in 1832, and the remaining foundation is where this memorial is, called President's House, Freedom and Slavery in the Making of a Nation. This shows the contradiction between liberty and slavery in the new nation.
So remember, this is just kind of a facsimile to give you the essence of Washington and Adams' home. But just disregard that plasma TV LED, because I'm sure it was just a regular cathode ray tube one at the time. Wow, I thought it was a lot bigger. I don't know why. And I didn't know the crack was so big. Wow. Okay, so I'm back here looking at the back of the bell. You can see it looks like they've been dragging it around on the ground here. But the real reason I'm back here is I just wanted to photobomb all the people that are trying to get a good shot of it.
We're getting back on the bus now. We're heading over to, I believe it's Reading Market? Something like that. We're going to have some lunch. Okay.
We're meeting the bus up at the jump right. So remember this door, and remember how to get back to that car. So
it's really hard to decide. There are a lot of restaurants here. Like that.
And due to the time constraints and pressure and trying to be a team player, when Sue and Tim picked out a Mediterranean place, the Chan Man had to get with the program. This is pretty good. Here's what I had, mamas. How could you go wrong with mamas? leave it to Sue to actually go to the market at the Reading Market. I know, it's the only thing I'm good for. The head's still on there.
You didn't see it?
Well, what do you do with the head? You feed it to the dog or do you eat it?
And we're back on the bus heading back over to Independence Square for a tour. Did have to go through a security check here at a few places actually, so beware, everything, watches, all of that comes off. We met with our guide and headed to Independence Hall, where both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States were debated and adopted by the founding fathers of the United States.
The work inside the building, we estimate like 65 to 70%. The signatures are not still here because that will be done in August 2nd.
So as far as I'm concerned, this is the room that Adventure Caravan should have had our lunch.
Carpenter's Hall is where the Congress first decided how the colonies should meet British threats to their freedom. We continued our walking tour through this historic square mile, and it is amazing how many different things we came across.
This is the First National Bank of the United States of America. Wow.
Also reflects the way that they felt about the ancient Greeks or Romans. So here's Ben. So what's he covered with? Keys. Why is he covered with keys? Right, so he supposedly did an experiment where he flew a kite.
We have a guide.
Elfrith Sally is often referred to as the oldest continuously inhabited street in America, and it dates back to 1703. And yes, people still live here.
Worshipped by many members of the First and Second Continental Congress, members of the Constitutional Convention, and those who are here during Philadelphia's time as the first federal capital. Indeed, we have both here and at our burial ground, but 2 blocks away at 5th and Arch, 7 signers of the Declaration and 5 signers of the Constitution.
Apparently, there are some people buried right here in the church. Right, onward to the bus. Our day is done. Well, there's more stones here where people are buried. Said about 400 people inside or around the church. We made an unexpected stop on the way home. Since we were driving past the rocky stairs, we may as well stop.
So anyways, we're going to stop for a few minutes. You got a chance to walk, waddle, crawl, run up the stairs. But if I remember right, his statue is off to the right of the stairs.
All right, you look pretty tough there. You ready to hit the stairs now like Rocky?
Yeah. So I could hum the theme song of Rocky, but I'm pretty good at humming, and I'm thinking I would have a problem with copyright issues. I'm pretty good at that. All right, now I gotta go. Darn it! You know, the things I do for the channel, I hope everyone appreciates it. Like right now, I'm hiding my oxygen tank, and only periodically do I look away with the camera, take a breath, put it back down, and then you can't see it.
Oh my God, Mark made it up here too.
Should I give him CPR?
He might need some.
You need a mouth to mouth?
We got you, Mark. We got you. Woo!
So yesterday was day 17.
Look how tall you are.
I know, October 1st, 2024. And it was actually a free day. And what we chose to do on our free day was hang around with our friend Tim that we met 2 years ago on
our first caravan.
Yeah, our first caravan that was the Grand Circle. And we had talked to Tim many times about his gentleman farm, which he now owns But prior, he had a giant farm, and now
organic farm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as luck would have it, many times when you're on one of these caravans, if your free day coincides with your visiting family, friends, or like in our case to go visit Tim's home, we shot over to his place, and me and Tim were like a kid in a candy store, and I want to thank Sue for putting up with it. So what did we do?
There he is.
I got to drive Tim's ultra fast Tesla X and had it driving me hands-free, returning home. It was awesome. I got to drive his, I don't know, $20,000 lawnmower, which was just freaking awesome. And then probably the coupe de gras was when I got to drive his Bobcat. And actually, Tim had it all set up so that I could scoop into gravel and deposit it. And it was like being a kid again in a sandbox, except it was the real deal. Yeah. So what are we doing today?
Well, you know, I also want to say I think some of our fellow travelers went to Gettysburg. So on days off, you have a lot of options. You want to do laundry, grocery shopping, or do some more touring. But today is day 18. It's Wednesday, October 2nd. Today, it's a motor coach day again. We're going to be around Lansing, Pennsylvania, and we're going to be visiting a miniature horse farm. I'm excited about that. We're also going to a dairy farm. We'll be having lunch at a local restaurant, nice restaurant.
Kind of a famous place, and every time we walk by it, it's packed.
Yeah.
So I hope we have a reservation.
All right, so after lunch, we're actually going to go to, what is it, Sight and Sound
Sight and Sound
Theater?
Play. It's supposed to be a giant production that is rivals Broadway-type quality.
So our motor coach is waiting for us, and let the day begin. Our first stop was the Old Windmill Farm, an authentic Amish farm. Here we sampled homemade foods, browsed around their gift shop of handmade goods, and more. And this was the farm that we were supposed to see the miniature horses.
But actually, they were so small, we couldn't even see them.
Well, actually, we got busy and never took the time to go check them out. We then picked up our guide for the Kreider Dairy Farm.
Like mixed in a big group like this.
We're all cousins.
See the barn down here on the right? That is Bessie. So Bessie was one of our original 12 cows that Noah and Mary got when they got the farm. Because we're going to kind of pull up here as long as nobody else gets in our way. Folks.
Why is it steaming?
Well, that's a good question. So this is good.
We were able to drive the bus through the maternity barn.
Stalls have been made a little bigger because they're getting bigger.
Here we saw a cow in the process of giving birth.
Yeah. Oh, their tail will usually stick
out right now. It's coming out, guys.
Here at the Dairy Division building, we were able to watch the milking carousel from indoors and from outdoors, and also from above.
Yeah, they're coming in the chute here. Right down there is the cleaning station that we saw. Take a 4-minute ride around, put on your backup lights and the beeper, and back out of the carousel. Wow.
Just finished in the milking barn. We're heading up to the silo now.
You're on your own. It's 86 steps. I don't want to have a heart attack on the caravan. It's bad for business, honey.
I am so proud of you.
I'm glad it was an even number too.
What's that?
Yeah, 172.
Now it's time for dinner. Dienner Restaurant provides Pennsylvania Dutch cooking for the general public. The Amish here have been cooking this way for all of their lives, and in 1993 they decided to open this restaurant to allow others to experience the food that they love. Talk about delicious comfort food. All right, we just finished our lunch. We're over at Sight and Sound right now. We're going to be, it's a theater, and we're going to be see Daniel now.
Right. We ate so much food, we're not walking and we're waddling in.
We're waddling
And you know who
in.
was the king of the buffet right here?
All right,
Mr.
shaming you.
Mark.
How many desserts,
How many
Mark?
desserts
Come
did you
on.
have? 5.
That-
And he's not lying. I actually saw it. How many main dish plates?
I counted 8.
2. Oh my God.
And a salad.
Oh,
my
well,
gosh.
of course, you have to
Wow.
maintain your health. Yeah.
We cannot record, obviously, the show at all. It's copywritten. But we'll show you the place. This is an amazing building. And as you saw when we were walking, there are a lot of tour buses here. This is huge. Let's take a look. Good morning. It's day 19. It's Thursday, and it's October 3rd. We've got a busy day today. We're going to experience a lot of the Amish culture here today. First thing we're going to do is head over and go to, a Amish Experience Theater show. So that'll be cool. I'm excited about today. We're going to be over at the Amish Country Homestead. I've got my script itinerary. There's a lot going on. Amish Country Homestead. We'll also be going to the Kettle Village. We're actually also going to get a buggy ride. That'll be really cool. It's a nice day. It's going to be warm.
Right.
We're also going to be touring, who's that? Julius Sturgis Pretzel Bakery.
Right, and that's why I wore the shirt, honey.
Sturgis?
I'm trying to fit in. Remember, the old gym trick is always try to fit in so you don't look like a tourist.
Don't look like a tourist.
Right.
And I get it. I understand. All right, so, and then this is cool. We're going to have dinner in the evening with, we're going to be at Rachel King's Amish Farm, and we're going to get a home-cooked Amish meal.
Did you hear what it's going to be?
Meatloaf.
Excellent.
It's meatloaf. And that's our full day of experiencing this area and the Amish families.
And
Looks like our bus just got here, so let's get going. We arrived at the Amish Experience to immerse ourselves and learn about the Amish way of living. We started in the theater with a dramatic tale of Jacob's choice, an Amish family's effort to preserve a lifestyle and a culture, and it gave us a better understanding of what it means to be Amish. We basically got 400 years of history in this 40-minute production. It was really well done. Once we were done with the theater, we headed over for a guided tour. This is a replica of an old order Amish home and one-room school. This homestead represents the best effort to explain the Amish education, customs, and cultural heritage of the past and present Amish families.
Still accepted and
We had a chance to have many questions answered, and then we toured the house to learn about the culture like family living, the dress, and life without electricity.
So one thing that Kim showed me is that the refrigerator is LP.
All right, we just arrived at the Kettle Village. A lot of shopping places, restaurants, but we're actually heading over to catch our buggy ride now. So. All right, look at us.
Oh.
Our driver saw our cameras and he said, "Come on up front." Nice. Got a little view over here.
We have Lily and Dutch. Lily on the left is 12 years old. Dutch on the right is 9 years old.
We began our relaxing buggy ride in the heart of Amish country in Lancaster County.
There's pretty much all family right along this road.
As we rode through the nearby farmland and countryside, our Amish driver and guide pointed out many things pertaining to this area and the Amish way of living.
It's chopped up for corn salad. Feed for the cow. Farmers are finishing the fields by the end of October. They don't get out in the fields again until spring, around the first week in April. about the end of our journey. I hope you guys enjoyed your ride.
Yes, thank you. That buggy ride was awesome. If you're in this area, gotta do it. That was great.
Well, okay, now Jim said he had a hot dog, but
There's
I didn't
potato
know he had
chips.
the deluxe version.
We're waiting for ours. We've got a salad and tuna sandwich coming up. And after wandering around the Kitchen Kettle village a bit more, we were back on the bus, touring the area by an Amish cemetery, and made a stop at a quilt and craft place. All right, this stop is the Pretzel Bakery. We'll go see how they make pretzels. The Julius Sturgis Pretzel Bakery was founded in 1861, and it's the first commercial pretzel bakery in America. Here we were met with our tour guide and learned more about the history of pretzel baking in America. And part of the tour, we each were given our own piece of flour and water mixture and taught how to twist a pretzel. The tour also included seeing the original ovens built by Julius Sturgis. We were also given fresh baked soft pretzels before we left. All right, all these choices, we bought nothing. We were tempted, but it's like, oh my God, we've been eating so much. Good stuff. And our last stop for this day is an Amish dinner at Rachel King's farm. All part of our Amish experience. Right away, I can tell I'm gonna like it.
You are so good, honey. I only ate one bite of my meatloaf.
Yeah,
and I took a pass on the chicken. All right, Sue, you know what us local folks here in Lancaster County, what we call this pie right here?
What is it?
We call it SFP.
Okay.
Yeah, that's shoe fly pie. That's what we call it.
Good to know. We'd like to thank you for joining us on days 14 through 19 of our 36-day Adventure Caravan guided RV tour on the historic East Coast America. Don't forget to subscribe and join us for our next video in this series when we head over to Washington, D.C. and Williamsburg, Virginia. And if you like this video, consider giving us a thumbs up and leave a comment. We love hearing from you. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.